Welcome back to the show, everyone. We're here again with the almost twin brothers.
I don't know about that.
They were kind of squirrels together.
That's why I get them confused. But we're doing our last dish. And again, I'm very excited to see what it is. You've done so many good things for us lately. So how do we begin our last dish?
All right, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and melt my butter. And this dish is what we call it is crawfish Maria. This was a dish my father came up with in New Orleans many years ago at our restaurant. And it was always a really, really popular dish. And not only is it great with it, today we're going to toss it with fettuccine, but you can also put this over fish if you want. So it's an ice cream sauce. So what I'm doing, like I said, get my butter melted. And then I'm going to take in, I got some diced onions.
So we like to call this a Creole cream sauce because it's going to have the Trinity in there. We're going to thicken it with a little roux, add some heavy cream. And so like Gino said, it's good not just on pasta, but on fish, on top of crawfish cakes. We do that sometimes. Anytime you want a good crawfish sauce, this will work.
Throw some of that 1995 lobster in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Then I got some celery, some red bell pepper.
Again, we like the red really for the color,
Really
even more than the
colorful,
flavor, but it's going to look really nice in the sauce.
But even though the red has got a nice
the
sweet
red
taste.
does,
Yes.
So I'm going to sweat my onions and I'm going to sweat all my vegetables down. That cook. Usually I would let this cook for about 5 minutes.
Again, you're not really looking for any color on the onions, so we're not trying to caramelize them. We're just trying to
Put a flavor out of them.
put a little flavor out of them, soften them up a little bit.
Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my garlic.
Because, you know, we can't cook anything without garlic.
That's right.
It's one of my favorites.
It's just
If you've
not the
ever
same
watched
without
our show,
garlic.
I have plenty of favorite things, like as far as food goes. But garlic's one of the top. Jumbo lump.
Yeah.
I think that's everyone's favorite, though.
So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to add my flour. And again, I'm done making a blonde roux. So all I want to do is just cook the flour taste out, so that way it'll just bind it. I don't want to give the flour any color or anything like that.
And we're using pretty much equal parts flour and butter.
Correct. And if you didn't want to use butter, you could use margarine or you could use any kind of oil.
Except I think life's too short. Go ahead and use butter.
Yeah.
Why not?
And margarine's not as good for you as people think it is.
That's right.
What is it that the insects won't even eat?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that tells you something.
So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to I have some crawfish stock that we have.
So what we like to do is after a good crawfish boil, just save those heads.
Yes, that's the best.
Put them in the water. You know.
Just the color that has, you can tell that's like a homemade stock.
Okay. And then I'm just going to mix it. I'm just going to get to come together. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some white wine.
You know it.
Again, and we talked about that with the last dish with the shrimp and grits. That wine's going to add a little structure to the sauce. Again, we don't want it to taste flabby.
Okay.
Pretty color on it already.
Oh, yeah. So now I'm going to do is I have bay leaf. I have some oregano, some fresh thyme. I'm going to add some basil. So really give it some really distinct flavors with those herbs. And then what I'm going to do is turn it down just a little bit.
And I think Gino talked about the cooking classes we do. And one tip we give people for cooking classes, if you want to go cook with fresh herbs, a lot of times when you go to the store and you buy the little pack of fresh herbs, you can almost get a little herb plant for almost the same price. You can go and cut off what you need for that night.
Yeah.
And
You'll always
we
have
plant them, and hey, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But
all right, so next I'm going to do is I'm going to add some white pepper, some cayenne pepper, and a little black pepper. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in, I have some heavy cream.
That little pepper meal is neat.
yeah.
I like that one.
Wow, that's simple enough.
And then I'm going to add some Creole seasoning to it. And again, this is going to give it a little color and a little bit more flavor.
Because a lot of times what you're looking at for the Creole seasoning is adding a little bit of salt too, because a lot of Creole seasonings have a good bit of salt in them.
Yes.
So you just want to watch how much salt you.
All right.
Yeah.
You can see it starting to turn a little orangish color.
Yes.
Right.
Already, yeah, man,
And
the
then,
crawfish yet.
yeah,
I got
and then
my
the fat from the
crawfish, yeah,
crawfish.
Pretty Louisiana crawfish.
Oh,
stand.
yeah.
Yeah. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some green onions and some chopped parsley.
Again, another really simple, you know, sauce to
Fan,
prepare.
fast.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah?
fast, quick, easy.
And then so what I did was I have that pasta, and we're using some fettuccine today. So we just put it in some hot water. And then we're going to put that in this bowl here so we can mix it.
Very good.
And we'll let Gina put some
That's
of this.
fast.
Our big ladle again.
Yeah.
It took you less time to make the sauce
Yeah.
than to put it in the bowl.
Oh, it's smelling wonderful over here, Jason. I know you maybe not just be able to smell it over there, but
Oh, I can smell it.
it's smelling good over here.
And you know, what we like to say, especially like in our cooking classes, what we'll talk about is now you could take this base sauce, which is really like a velouté in French cuisine, where you have a kind of a white stock thickened with a roux and then add a little cream to it. So if you had a crab boil, you could take those crab shells and make crab stock and do the same thing with
Just
some
play
great
with it,
jumbo lump crab
experiment.
meat. And
You can experiment with that sauce. Put it. You can put
If you
that
want
over
to-
chicken
right,
breast.
if you want-
or
right.
something,
I mean, we've talked about chicken ribeyes, you know, it's a nice T-bone, big porterhouse.
Even a little pork chop. I mean, it,
Yeah.
you know.
And what we like to
little
do, where
white
we're
wine.
from, is we do something called panade veal, where we'll take those veal cutlets, pound
Yes.
them out, bread them, and fry them a little bit. So instead of fettuccine Alfredo, what would be better than this crawfish dish with fettuccine?
Oh, delicious, I'm sure. Again, guys, tell everybody at home where you're located and the phone number can be
Okay,
reached.
we're in Baton Rouge on Highland Road between I-10 and Airline Highway, and our phone number is 225-753-3458. We'd love to have you come join us.
Please do so, and I'm sure they'll take very good care of you. And thank you all again for coming and do the show with us again 2 weeks in a row, and we appreciate it very much, and welcome back anytime. And if y'all like to do a show for us here at home, you don't have to be a professional chef like these guys are. Just come by the station at KGCG and talk to Miss Kathy up front, or you can call the
email
station
her.
or email me or Jason or the TV station itself and set up a time and appointment to where we can do a nice cooking show with y'all. We'd love to see anybody's recipes at any time. And again, guys, thank y'all so much for coming, and hope to see y'all again soon.
It was
Y'all
our
take
pleasure.
care.
Thanks
Take
for
care.
having us.
Thanks for
Thank
having
y'all.
us.
Next
Thank
time
you.
we get. Next time Joey will wear a different shirt. For you.
Yeah.
And thank y'all so much for watching the What's Cooking Show. And join us back from next week when I have another exciting guest come. So see you next week.
You're watching KDCG, uniquely Acadiana, a Delta Media station.